This is Tom Fox. I'd like to welcome you to the newest addition to the Compliance Podcast Network, the Compliance Tip of the Day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. Join us as we explore the latest trends from the Department of Justice, share some best practices, demystify complex compliance issues to help keep your organization doing business ethically and in compliance, and at the end of the day, more profitably. Tune in daily for your dose of compliance wisdom. Let's make compliance a little less daunting, one tip at a time. Now a word from the sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, Ethico.
In compliance, the value of anonymous reporting is undeniable. But with Ethico, anonymity doesn't mean a loss of connection. Our blinded, two-way communication fosters an environment of trust and confidentiality, encouraging open and honest dialogue. It's not just about receiving reports. It's about understanding the story behind each one, creating a culture of integrity and respect. Transform your approach to anonymous reporting with Ethico. Begin your journey at ethico.com/CPN, where you can book a demo, access an exclusive white paper by Tom Fox titled The ROI of Compliance, and utilize our free ROI calculator.
Today, I'd like to explore the role of compliance in the clash of cultures we often see in mergers. One of the most difficult things to predict in a merger is how the cultures of entities will merge. Of course, if you don't do a cultural audit or a culture assessment beforehand, you're going to be behind the eight ball to start. Further, while many mergers claim to be mergers of equals, the reality is far different, as there is always one corporate winner that continues to exist and one corporate loser that simply ceases to exist. This is true across industries and countries. Witness the debacle of Daimler Chrysler, the disaster of autonomy, or rather of HP's acquisition of autonomy, or even the downhill slide of United Airlines after its merger with Continental Airlines. In the compliance space, this clash of culture is often seen. A company may have a robust compliance program with a commitment from top management to have a best practices compliance program. The other company may put profits before compliance. Whichever company comes out the winner in the merger, it will certainly mean not only a conflict, but if the winning entity is not seen as valuing compliance, it may mean investigations or even violations going forward. And if you want to take that to the next step, simply think of Elon Musk and his destruction of compliance at the company formerly known as Twitter. These cultures will impact your compliance program in addition to your role as a leader in compliance. Simply think of your hotline and the reluctance of many cultures to speak up or even raise their hand when they see an ethical or compliance issue. You must work with the various cultures within your organization to overcome such reluctance. Understanding this cultural disconnect is important. For many, the greatest business opportunities lie in emerging countries, including Bangladesh, India, Indonesia, and Turkey. Yet in nearly every case, these cultures are hierarchical and deference to authority are deeply woven into their national psyche. The management style of pushing decisions down the organization does not easily fit into an emerging market context and often trips up Western companies on their first ventures abroad on the business side and certainly in the compliance realm, particularly if there is a different perception of what is being termed ethical. So understand the culture of who you're buying. Try to do a culture audit and culture assessment beforehand, but if you're not, be prepared. This month's sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, including this podcast, is Ethico. Have you ever wondered about the ROI of your compliance program or had concerns with presenting budget proposals to your CFO? Well, I partnered with Ethico to write a white paper on the ROI of compliance and how you can think through compliance as an investment strategy. Ethico has put together a ROI calculator for you. Check them out on the website. This is Tom Fox again. This new podcast, Compliance Tip of the Day, will appear daily. And frankly, it's one of the most requested topics for a podcast that I get on a regular basis. It's going to be short and sweet with one tip with some takeaways that you can utilize to implement into your compliance program. If you've got a question that you would like a tip on, please submit them through our website, and we will use them in an upcoming episode. The compliance tip of the day is a production of the award-winning Compliance Podcast Network.